Welcome to Saturday versus Sunday. I'm John Barber, and with me is Jeff Dover, and let's talk football.
All right, we're doing our Kansas City Chargers review. The game was on YouTube. The game was in Brazil. What are your initial thoughts?
Well, the broadcast was 100 times better than last year's in that same. I hated that broadcast
Very
last
true.
time. It was the crowd last time sucked. The
Yep.
field was just a straight up liability. The
Yep.
broadcast mentioned this year the NFL took it upon themselves to make the field better this year, which was good
Yep.
for them.
Noticeably better.
I'm sure the
better.
players and the players union said, we ain't playing on that field until you guys get it in shape.
Mhm.
The pregame stuff was really weird. Like I was
Yep.
wondering what on earth I was looking at there. The national anthem for the States was a bummer. Like that bassist thing, it sounded like he was playing a different tune. I think there's something wrong with his audio. The saxophone player, fine, he was okay, but overall, the Brazilian national anthem was super entertaining. It's just a fun time to hear it play.
Yes, it is.
She was completely outstanding, and then the whole crowd sang along to it. So by the end of it, they kind of showed up like the version the Star Spangled Banner got kind of sucked, and then the version the Brazilian one got was maybe the best anthem I've seen at a sporting event. I mean, whoever she is, she was unbelievable. My thought was, why doesn't she just sing both? Like, I don't know. That was
might not know it. I don't know, but I mean, the production was way better. It was I didn't need all the YouTube stuff, but it is like, in terms of growing the NFL, being on YouTube is really good because not everyone gets CBS or Fox. Like everyone in the world gets YouTube, which is crazy. But it was, like you said, it was way better than last time. I felt like sometimes during the game they were booing both teams, and I don't know if that was just them being loud when the other team's on offense, or I don't know what it was, but it didn't feel like they were cheering for one and not the other or something. It was just seemed. But
yeah, in those international games, you get kind of an inconsistent crowd reaction. Sometimes, like, what are they doing right now?
Yeah.
And then when they pan up to the crowd, you're seeing like every NFL jersey.
Yes, yeah, but but you're right. So the broadcast was better, the field was better, the sound was better than last time. So and the only complaint that I had, it was way too long, but I don't think that was the broadcast fault. I just think it was from all the penalty. It was like 4 hours, but it's mostly because of the penalties.
They did a Super Bowl level halftime show, which was highly sexualized, which again, that's Brazil's thing, but but most American viewers aren't expecting that kind of sexualized performance at a football game. But again,
a lot of rump shaking.
That's Brazil's style, and I like it. All right. So game, what do we got? High level. Let's start off with the player of the game, Justin Herbert.
Yes.
I think best game of his NFL career, maybe.
Yeah. That's one of my notes that I have here. It was a good game. Chargers, Chiefs, good, like division game, well matched. The difference is that Herbert came out sharp and Mahomes didn't. And Mahomes picked it up later, but that just being behind at the beginning was enough. That's all that the Chargers needed, and then they could, they ended up winning. So, but Herbert was sharp from the get-go and looked great.
Mm-hmm. And they came out throwing the ball on purpose. This was not a test the run. If the run doesn't work, throw. This was we're gonna throw, and we're not expecting you to be fully ready for it. Like obviously Spagnuolo can scheme a defense for anything, but my guess is he was a little bit off balance, thinking, are they going to throw again? Really, they're going to throw again? So, and now we're talking about one of the top, 3 defenses with the Chiefs. So they have the personnel and they have the brain power at coordinator to handle whatever's in front of them. But from a game flow, obviously you watch film and you have some expectation of what you might get. He must have been like, okay, you're throwing it again. All right, here we go again. At some point, he must think there's no way he's throwing it again, and then he just kept throwing it. This reminded me of mid Patriots dynasty Belichick, where his game plans were game specific. So there was no Patriots defense. There just was, what were they going to do this game? Then they started doing that on offense too. I don't know if you remember this. There was a couple Patriot games I remember where all they did was throw. I mean, they went like 30 passes in a row. Yeah. And it was whoever they were playing against defense was so good at the run defense. Belichick's like, we're not even going to try. We just know we're not getting a yard on the ground. I'm just going to, for this game, it's going to have to be through the air. And this is exactly what that looked like. And good for Harbaugh for having the stones to abandon what we know he wants to do, is run the ball. Every coach wants to run the ball, right?
Yeah.
Like
that's the key part right there, right? Is that's why it's surprising, because Harbaugh is known as the good defense, run the ball, set up the play action, hold the ball a long time, right? So that's why this was surprising. Like, I've seen teams throw a lot to set up the run a lot to set up the pass. Like, you can do either way, like in the NFL. So that's what's surprising about this, is that they started with the pass, a Harbaugh team, and then like ran to keep them honest.
I wonder if in practice he and his staff have evaluated the person. His name's escaping me. The player who's replacing Slater. So Joe Alt moved to left tackle, and then I think it's Pimpkins or whoever the guy's name is that replaced him at right tackle. Actually did okay. It didn't look like a glaring deficit.
Nope.
Now, but holy smokes, Karlaftis. His get off is great this year. And that tackle had his hands full all game. Yeah. And actually they were more disruptive. The Chiefs, they got into the backfield, more TFL. They had maybe 6 TFLs and 3 sacks. Yeah. So, but overall, I don't think it didn't look like a glaring deficit. I mean, obviously they won the game, but maybe they saw like, oh man, our run games, we just don't have it right now to run the ball effectively. Maybe coming into this game, regardless of how good the Chiefs run defense is, which is good, maybe they saw in practice, like, what we've got right now with minus Slater is not a good enough run push. So we're gonna attack through the air. I'm guessing that might be.
Yeah, I don't know. I could see it being the other way. I think they've got Herbert was really good, and they could really like their passing game. And so if they, with passing to set up the run is not crazy, except it was just unexpected because it was Harbaugh. The other thing is, I don't think Kansas City Chiefs defense last year was absolutely lights out, and I didn't feel like they're as lights out this year. Now, I think part of it is what you're saying, like they were a little surprised by how much pass came out there, but I didn't think they were as airtight as they were last year. So that was, if I'm a Chiefs fan looking at you, Looney Farm guy, I'd be a little more, I don't think they can lean on the defense as much as they did last year, just because last year was so like out of worldly. And I was really concerned about the Chiefs not being able to run. I don't know why they don't run Pacheco more. Like when no,
he doesn't have space. I was looking at some of the advanced metrics. Their run game's atrocious. It's absolutely atrocious. They had 90 something yards. 57 of it was Mahomes scrambling. Their run game is Mahomes. So Pacheco and Hunt had 40 yards between the two of them. That's not because they're not going to them. They can't get anywhere.
Well, Pacheco had 5 runs for 25 yards. That's averaging 5 yards a carry. So I thought he looked good running it. So I don't know why Hunt got even as many carries as he did, but I don't know why they just don't run Pacheco more. But the take home is that even though the Chargers only ran for 90 yards too, it looked like the Chargers run game was better than the Kansas City Chiefs run game.
Barely. I mean, 37 of that was Herbert too, right? So, and the key run was the game sealing scramble. Yeah. So interestingly, 2 teams who can't run the ball, the best play on offense is Patrick Mahomes scrambling for the Chiefs for this game, at least. And
I was going to say Herbert running to seal the game is up there.
Oh yeah, well I was going to get there. Okay. So first of all, okay, so the Chargers were shredding them in the air, 318 yards.
Yes,
and there was more to be had. McConkey. Okay, so Johnston.
How good is he? How good is McConkey?
McConkey's
That's
so
all he does. He looks like that in Georgia.
Steal.
And he looks like that here. Like it's the same. It's the same.
God damn it, he's good. What a steal. What a steal.
And just seeing him, I remember when I think it was Johnston got the touchdown, and they were both sort of standing beside each other in the end zone. And McConkey looks like he's about a foot shorter.
Well, because he is, right?
I know, but it's
I think his stature must have scared away some teams.
Oh, absolutely.
But he's so freaking good.
Just catches balls. That's all he does. And then just making catches.
And then Quentin Johnston, he's been, man, this guy, the trip he's been on with, he was a first round pick. They expected a wide receiver 1 type career out of this guy, and it's just been plagued with drop balls and the what could have been, what should have been, and is he ever going to figure it out? Good for the Chargers for sticking with this guy. This was his first, to me, big game where he played like a wide receiver 1. Like he was on it 2 touchdowns. He looked like a go-to player in this game. He didn't make the critical drop that we're almost expecting out of this guy. And you remember, this guy got knocked out cold in the preseason. Like, he was out. And so good for him for recovering from that. And finally, I mean, on the same day, Herbert has, I think, his best game of his career. So does Johnston.
Yeah, no, and and it's funny to say, like, it's good for them for sticking with him. He's 24 years old. Like, it's not like it was been a buzz for that long. But you're right. It's he looked great. Herbert looked great. I feel like the best receiver on the field was Hollywood Brown. That was another note that I had here. It seemed, especially with the Dallas and the Philly game, it seems like so far it's only 2-game sample. When a team loses a player, it really feels like it's thrown them off a lot. Like when Worthy went out, it looked like Kansas City's offense struggled for a bit, and then they sort of like put it all back together. And so I think it's just, I was, if I'm a Kansas City fan, I want to see this offense again with Worthy and Rice, in as wide receivers too, because then I feel like they've got multiple options to throw to.
Well, yeah. So Brown, I have a note here. Brown stepped up big time, even though he dropped a pass or two there. But as far as missing receivers, Rashid Rice is out because he's suspended, and he's kind of, if he's not receiver 1, he's one of the 2 top receivers that are supposed to be on this team. I think he's technically their receiver 1. Worthy, we all expect him to take a big step this year, and he looked good in his rookie season. To me, he's got the potential. I think the sky's the limit for Worthy if he starts figuring more and more of this out. So I'm sure he was heavily in the game plan here. The other key receiver missing, and this is my guy, Jalen Royals from Utah State. He was out too with an injury. And along the way, when I saw that Rashid Rice was out, I'm like, oh, Royals is going to get in there. And these fans are going to be pleasantly surprised with this guy that to me looks like, okay, I'm going to say this, the way he moves, it looks like Jamar Chase. I'm not saying he's that ceiling, but just on the field, and I seen this guy live, I'm like, that kind of reminds me of Chase. That's just immediately what I thought of.
Okay.
So I'm thinking
Royals equals Chase. That's what you're saying.
No, oh my God, you just don't listen. Anyways, the point is they're missing 3 receivers. 3 out of the listed top 4, right? Like, because Royals on the depth chart made his way up there throughout camp. So that, I mean, this just keeps requiring Mahomes to put on the Superman cape. And the other thing, the way Worthy got injured.
Oh, right.
What are you doing,
Kelsey? I know, and it really looked like it. It looked like I haven't seen the injury report yet, but it looked like he dislocated his shoulder. Like the way that they were reaching up under the pads. Like that's,
how long does that take to heal?
It could be a bit, like, especially in that position, because you can't, like, you're going to reach up to get the ball, and then if you're ever hit like from the side or behind, it's really dangerous.
Put it out again.
Yeah. So like it's if that's what's happened, but like that's what it looks like, is because you reach up under the pads and you're trying to feel for like the head of the humerus to see, like, is it in the socket or not? That's what they're looking for.
Yeah, when he was walking off and it was like dangling, I'm like, I don't think he's coming back in this game. And I mean,
that's another classic thing with shoulder injuries. You sort of lean to the side because you're trying to take, like, gravity's pulling it down, which hurts it. So you sort of lean so that there's less pull on it.
All right, so for those of you listening, Dover has his PhD in athletic training, so he knows what he's talking about here. So listen up on injuries, and I have a couple other injury items here we want to cover.
All right, well, what's your next injury item?
Well, I'm not done with the receiver.
All right,
okay,
fine. Okay. Go ahead with the receiver.
Okay, well, now you've derailed me. So, anyways, just to reiterate the point and the contrast, Herbert has 3 studs because Keenan Allen's back, and we know he has chemistry with Keenan Allen. And I don't care how slow anyone thinks he is. That guy gets open on anybody.
He caught important balls in the game. Like,
yes, and he's a superior route. He's a superior route runner.
Yeah.
And he's got that like mind meld chemistry with Herbert the same way Kelsey does with Mahomes. So he's like, Chiefs fans, that's what it feels like when there's a player like, how's that guy always open? Well, that's what everyone else feels like when they watch Mahomes and Kelsey. It's like, how is he always open? But that's the Chargers version of that mind meld between 2 players. And then so Herbert, and then Quentin Johnston has his best game, and Ladd McConkey is just emerging as a superstar. So you've got, the contrast here is Justin Herbert his 3 receivers playing at peak performance, and his bonded receiver, right? Like similar to Kelsey.
Yep.
Whereas Mahomes is missing Worthy, missing Rice, and missing his potentially new star Royals. None of them are there. So Hollywood, now he's just working with what's left. And Kelsey seems to be missing a step, but had one of the biggest plays of the game. But he also had one of the worst mistakes of the game, which was knocking Worthy out of this game.
Yeah, that was rough.
So
you rarely see that. You rarely see two players on the same team run into each other and injure someone that bad. So
tell Kelsey's twice his size. Yeah. And I was watching Shannon Sharp and Ocho talking about it, and they were mentioning like that it doesn't look like a big hit or anything, but when you're not bracing for it, because you're not expecting it, that's what caused it to happen.
Yeah,
so
for sure,
I'm sure Kelsey feels kind of crappy about that. But that is not an my goodness, a veteran does not make that mistake.
I know.
Geez, how many times do you think they've run that route and never run into each other? So
for sure.
I couldn't believe that happened. And sticking on the injury note, I bet you all the Kansas City fans, you guys tell me about this, had a collective holding their breath when Karlaftis rolled up on Chris Jones in the first quarter there.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, and he went down in a heap. Now he was okay, but for a second there, I'm like, I actually shouted out, "Oh no!" And I thought, "Oh my God, Jones is down too." So they just lost Worthy, and in that moment, I thought for sure his knee was done. And he got up and he was fine. But holy smokes, I thought, are they going to lose both like the best defensive player right now? Like, could this get any worse? So that was a dodged a bullet there, but I'm surprised they didn't talk about it a little bit.
They mentioned it
scary.
briefly. It mentioned it briefly. It's like, he walked off in his own power. Hopefully he can come back, and then he did, and then it was but you're right. It's those are, considering what Kansas City's offense looked like last year, how good the defense was. They need the defense to be stout, so you don't want to lose anyone.
Absolutely. Sticking on the injury train, Christian Slater. So Josh Simmons, the rookie left tackle, looked great. And he recovered from a patellar tendon rupture, which is what Christian Slater has. So we got a little commonality there. And Josh Simmons, if this keeps up, they stole this guy in the draft. Now the risk was a patellar tendon is maybe not so obvious that he's going to make it back to 100% mobility. And the whole key with a left tackle like Simmons is he's got freakish mobility. So if that's gone, then now you just have a big guy. And it's like, are you really going to spend a first round pick on him? But the early returns on a game of this magnitude, he held up. He's going to make mistakes here and there, but I think he held up. And if he just keeps progressing, they may have stolen the best left tackle in a while here.
Well, and he held up better than the guy in Kansas City that had like 4 penalties, like kept getting the full start.
That's like, my other note here, Jawan Taylor.
That was annoying as crap. Like that cannot happen. Like it's just so many self-inflicted wounds, and it just makes the drive like that much harder.
He looked like the rookie, not Simmons.
Yes.
So and on that note, you've got a rookie left tackle. You've got Taylor, who's just not playing well at right tackle, and Mahomes. I mean, there's just no support for this guy. There's no run game. You're missing 3 receivers. You got a rookie left tackle, and you've got a right tackle who's just not performing well, and he's just doing it all. Like he's just there's only so much one guy can do. But and maybe if it weren't for Mahomes, this offense would be a complete shambles. Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, it's either the Kansas City offensive line looked pretty rough, and they're running the ball and pass protection, and or like the Chargers defensive line looked really good. You could probably slice it both ways, but it does feel like Mahomes is going to need the full complement of receivers but Hollywood Brown looked amazing. Like he looked like one of the best receivers on the field. So I think as long as he gets like 1 or 2 of the other guys back, then I think they'll be in good shape.
Yeah.
The only other note that I had here in terms of like players and who look good is I had a line here. I said, I'd stay at an Omarion Hampton anytime. I thought he looked like a good running back. That was his first game ever. And it was like, and he looks good. Yeah. Now that was a huge rookie mistake to run out of bounds at the end there, because that could have ended the game if he just stayed in bounds.
Do we want to get into the mistakes now?
Sure, let's get in the mistakes. So the mistake number 1 was that running back like that, and that's when you call the run or that pass play that is just like stay in bounds should be like the last thing.
Why the hell would he call a run to the boundary? Like everyone pulled, the whole run was a lateral run. Yeah, and you're giving a rookie the option and or temptation to attempt to get around the corner. Like he wants to show up for his team, and their instinct is never to cut the run short. It just isn't.
No,
and
I know.
But you're relying on him to have the maturity and the poise to cut the run short. When if you just call that run up the middle, he doesn't have any choice to go out of bounds. He'll put his nose in there, maybe get a yard, but you've taken the temptation away from him, or even the option to get to the boundary and go out of bounds.
I'm not gonna fault him for calling that play because it worked. Like it was open, like it was blocked well. He ran like,
but he wasn't going to get the first down.
No, I know, but like it was a good play. He just has to like not run out of bounds. I feel like that should be in there.
Agree to disagree.
I think they should be like some running backs running full speed stop and sit in the ground before the end zone. Right, like they're that aware. So like just not going out of bounds, I feel like should be in there. But anyway, yes.
Well, they got to think twice about that one because he did in fact run straight out of bounds. And
what's another mistake you had?
That was a terrible. No, that whole sequence, Harbaugh.
Oh, yeah.
So they go delay of game, shovel pass for incompletion, run out of bounds, stop the clock 3 times to hand the ball back to the best player in the NFL, who marches it down the field and do a firehouse
that was cool.
59-yard field goal bananas play.
Yes.
Are you kidding me? Like you gave the momentum back to them when you could have just let that just kill the end of the first half, have the Chiefs go into the locker room on a downer, like whatever it was, like 3 points, like just feeling shitty about themselves. And instead you give them this hope. You show them, oh, you can do this, and you can do this fast. Like it's there. Like you reminded them that they have Mahomes. Like in that moment. And Butker, I mean, Jesus Christ, 59-yarder on a firehouse drill. Then
it's awesome.
Sticking with the mistakes, he misses the extra point, which ends up screwing up the entire game.
Yeah. No, and it's to be able to do the firehouse drill and knock out the 59-yarder that missed the extra point is pretty crazy. Yeah, no, you can't. It's those are going to be teachable moments. Right? Like again, when we don't take care of the ball, or when we don't, do the right thing with the clock, then it's going to bite you. So, and that's what it did.
All right. So my worst mistake is actually Chris Jones.
Ooh.
On Herbert's game-sealing scramble. If you watch, the Chiefs are in press man coverage. So that means when that receiver takes off, the receiver on the sideline where Herbert eventually runs for the first down. When that receiver takes off, that corner is with that receiver with his back to the play. He's gone. And there is no other edge defender out there. There's no safety, there's no nickel, there's no linebacker, there's no nothing. They're all so that means the entire left side of the field, the only person that has contained is Jones, because he was playing end on that play. He was playing left defensive end. He takes an inside move. To be fair, he beats the tackle like a drum. Like the tackle barely even gets his hand on him. But that just leaves the edge wide open.
Way too open.
And this isn't Kirk Cousins. Herbert can run. Like this guy can move, right? And he was moving all game long. It's not like he just wasn't in his bag all game. Herbert was showing you he's going to take off this game. He's done it before, right? So Jones ruins his guy on the inside, but then just leaves the entire edge open. And Herbert took it immediately, and that was the game. And I thought afterwards, I'm like, did Jones really blow it? Like he kind of did. And if he'd have just rushed it with lane integrity, like if he'd have just taken the outside, Jones could beat that guy any direction he wants. He could have just bowled anything. He took out of all the moves Jones has, which is all of them, he chose the one move that gives up the edge.
Yeah, I think.
And apparently, Tranquil and him were having a serious debate on the sidelines about that exact mistake.
Really? Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that all the things you're saying are correct. Like because the way the offensive play is drawn up, because the DB is going to be following the receiver. And if you lose contain, that's really bad. Now, in his defense, defensive linemen usually are like working on certain moves, setting up certain moves for later. I think he set up that inside move from his previous stuff, and which is why he did it. And because a sack would be a killer there. And so he set up that move, blew by the tackle, like you said. And if he sacked him, that would be like a game-saving play, at that point. So, but it because of how it was drawn up in the way the play that the offense had, which Jones wouldn't have known, then it lost the lane integrity.
I think he probably knows his guys in press coverage. He's not unaware of the coverage behind him.
But like, sure, press coverage, yeah. But like, if there's only one person there, or if someone motions over something, like he's not going to know all the. If there's more than one receiver on that
all
side.
I'm saying is, in that moment, it was the okay.
In that moment, the contain was more important than the.
And
sack.
and the one thing he does know is he has no support back there, because that corner has nothing.
No,
is not.
You're right.
Is not like, let the receiver go and stay on the edge. There's just nothing else back there. It was the cleanest side of a field I've ever, like, all game long. It was just take off, nobody there. So I guess we could, somewhere in the middle, he beat his man, but that was a high risk choice. Going inside was kind of a high risk choice, because with Mahomes, let's talk about scrambling. I actually think, first of all, I think the scramble was their best play. He was picking up first downs on third. He was converting third downs with it, like routinely, and he wasn't really putting himself in harm's way. One guy got a good shot on him, but then the next time he got a good shot on a guy, which kind of like that. Mahomes every now and then, like, hang on a sec, I'm pretty big too.
I was thinking about that. I really feel bad for the defense for stuff like that, because you can't light up a QB. Like, you'll get a penalty. You have to hold off. Most of the time they slide. Most of the time they run out of bounds, right? And so, as a defensive player, you would not be ready for him to all of a sudden decide to like lower his shoulder and like be trucked into. Like, it kind of sucks. Like, I don't.
He kind of gets his cake and eat it too. Well, all quarterbacks can choose to truck a guy, or choose to be like, oh, poor me.
Or like, I'm not going to say like fake truck and then sliders. It'd be like, because the defense, like if you go to tackle him at all, you're going to be in the wrong, like no matter what. So that part sucked. No, I think for me, what we started off the pod talking about, like the Charge, it was a good game. Both teams played well. They're the defense was good. Neither team could run the ball well. But the difference to me was that Mahomes started off slower. Like he ended up fine. Like, it's 24 for 39 is not bad for 258 yards, and he ran for 57 yards. Like, it was good, but it's like, I'm being picky here just because he is the best player in the NFL. It was 15 incomplete passes, and most of them were in the first half, like in the beginning. So I think that's, and I think that was their problem with adapting without Worthy, is if I had to guess, because I've never seen them. They looked really pedestrian in the beginning, like for the first couple possessions.
Well, the passing game in general just didn't.
Yeah,
I mean, neither of it. I mean, they got all their yards on some big plays, so it was just an inconsistent. It's like 3 big plays accounted for a huge portion of their passing yards.
Yeah, it's a really good point,
because he's capable of doing that, right?
Yeah, no, I mean, it's those count too, but you're right. There was a 49-yard pass for Brown and a 37-yard for Kelsey and a 38 for Thornton. And so out of the 258 yards, like, that makes up a big percentage.
Yeah, over half of them came on three big plays. And one of them, super improbable, that scramble to the sideline with the bomb to Brown, where I know it's hard to cover for that long, but it from our view, the TV view, not the all 22, it kind of looks like, I mean, how did he get that open? Maybe it's just that hard to stay on a guy like Brown for that long. Or maybe the
safety came in too much.
I thought that
because they were when he was rolling out, like, you can't. The number one rule in safety is, like, you don't let anyone go behind you. Like,
he's 5 yards behind them at least.
Yeah, and he sunk in when Mahomes rolled out to that side.
My thought there is, do you really think you're making the tackle on Mahomes? First of all, he's still behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah,
and he's like one step away from going out of bounds. I don't know if it was Mac, whoever was pursuing him, there was no way Mahomes was cutting that upfield at that point. He clearly was throw it or I'm out of bounds. But it's not like Mahomes was going to have another one of his scrambles on that play. Like, he he didn't have the angle. Let's say it that way.
No.
So he only had 2 choices: out of bounds or throw it.
Too,
so if the safety broke off his responsibility, I'm like, you're 40 yards away. You're not going to be the guy making this tackle. Just somebody is behind you. It was just a huge mistake.
Yeah, number one rule in safety: can't let anyone get behind you. And in terms of, like, So when you yelled out no with the Karlaftis and the Jones thing, the only time that I yelled out no was when Mahomes was clearly going to be tackled and was, flat over the ground and still threw the ball through like 3 defenders, and the guy caught it like in a flip. And and I'm like, you can't do that. Like, it worked out, but you really, really shouldn't do that. And I know it's Mahomes, and I know he gets away with stuff like this, but he's setting high school quarterbacks back about 20 years. Like
kids just want to do that play.
I know, and you can't do it because that play 9 times out of 10 ends up in an interception. So
I think
a sack.
I think someone like him and maybe just a couple others kind of only do it when it's obvious to them it's there, and on TV it might look super risky, but to him
was risky.
I said it might look risky, but to him, knowing what he's capable of, he's like, "Oh, I got this." And while he's falling down, flicking it to him is like, "That's just easy." The guy's just right there.
Know.
So I know it looks like when he threw it, I'm like, "Is this going to be a pick six? What's going on here?" And then it was just like he caught it. So I give him the benefit of the doubt on those weird falling flick plays because I don't think he's ever missed one of those. They almost
that's for sure happened.
Like he's missed, but I don't think any of those have ever been picked off.
Okay, well, we don't.
I guess what I'm saying.
That's a long time to.
Gonna have to go back and look at the film.
Yeah, but it's like I don't know.
Anyways, I give him the benefit of the doubt when he chooses to do that, and it's fun as hell when he does do that.
I know, and he's one of the only people that can do it. I'll give you that. Right. So
other strange thing in this game is Thierry Tart, the big defensive tackle on the Chargers, had the slapping incident with Kelsey. And I guess what the officials guy in the booth said, if it's an open hand, that's kind of what they accounted for it being.
It's less serious than a closed fist punch.
And how hard you throw the hit and all that other stuff. So it's, I mean, in all of it, it's stupid because you're hitting a guy with a helmet. All you're going to do is hurt your hand.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, so they let him stay in the game, and he ends up batting down 2 passes that one of them kills the 2-point conversion. Now we can't be certain the guy's open behind him, but he put an end to that play. Yep. Which makes the missed point after attempt even a bigger deal because he blocks the 2-point conversion with that pass bat down.
You're chasing it the whole time after.
Then so you're always in chase mode. You're always offset, right? And that screws up the entire game plan.
Yep.
Then he's the one who bats down a pass on what turns out to be the Chiefs' final drive where they have to settle for the field goal. So you could, as a Chiefs fan, you could say, we kind of got screwed because the guy who stayed in the game, who could have been thrown out of the game, stopped the 2-point conversion and stopped us from scoring a touchdown to make the game closer at the end and make it a more realistic comeback. So, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that's what you could say. I don't think a open hand slap, whatever. I mean, it's control yourself, but
no, the hard part with that is that with a different officiating crew, it might have been an ejection.
That's
that's the hard part, right? Yeah. So it easily someone could have said that, and you wouldn't have been wrong because it was striking another player, right?
And it's a good example why you don't make the boneheaded play to remove yourself from the game like Jalen Carter did. Now it didn't cost the Eagles, but here, if this guy got knocked out of the game, there's no guarantee the guy playing behind him would have had these 2 key pass breakups like that. Those are improbable plays, and he had 2 of them. So whatever he was doing, he was beating his man, he was getting him Mahomes' face, he was getting his hands up when he needed to. There's no guarantee that guy behind him was going to do that. So it's a good example of like this game could have gone another way just on that ejection.
Yeah. And in talking about bonehead plays, in case you haven't seen it, you can check out the channel. Barman had a really good bonehead play about a clothesline player for the Eagles on the other thing. So go check out that video if you haven't seen it.
George Pickens is auditioning for the WWE for his post NFL career. That was, what the hell was that all about? Yeah. So check that out. I thought it was kind of funny.
Any other final thoughts on the game?
I mean, good. So that is the first time the Chargers have beat the Chiefs since 2021. So that was a 7-game losing streak they just broke.
Division game technically goes down as the Chargers' home game. So
massive division
really big for
game.
them. Really big for them to get it.
I'm still on the fence about division games and coming out of the gates, first game of the season. And now for us, it's awesome. We get like in the first 2 games of the season. Right, the Cowboys Eagles, right?
Yeah. So there's more coming,
right? So for a fan, I mean, it's great, but for the teams, man, you're asking them to play a division game now. There's no
warm up.
There's no just getting into the flow of the season and then hit us with these later in the season where like for instance last year where the Vikings and the Lions last game for home seed, like that's fun.
Yeah, that's a great point. Like that last game with the Vikings Alliance was going to decide who's finishes first, and that game is just as important as the week 1 division game. So it feels big because it's end of the season, but that's just as important. Like
do
the
you like
reason
it?
why that game is important is because it is a division game, which was affected by the earlier division games.
Yeah. Do you like this coming out of the gates with division games?
I hated the fact that the Chargers and Kansas City play each other twice. It should be one at Kansas City and one at Chargers, and this one was at Brazil, and the next one will be at Kansas City, which feels unfair for the Chargers to me. That's the only thing I didn't like about it. But I'm happy they won. They played better. Herbert was on point from the get-go, and they deserved to win. Yep. So, and in general, I'm fine with the division games being this early, as long as they're at the other people. They were listing there's a game in Berlin, and there's going to be a game in there's more international games coming up, and I need to look into it if they're division games too, because then that would
they're getting to the point where they're going to have one per week. So there's going to be 16, 17 division games.
Good God, really?
Sorry, international games. Yeah, that's what they're trying to get to. So I'm with you. As much as I don't like the international games, at least don't put a division game over there, because that's so not fair.
Yeah,
I would actually say make it. I don't know what you can do. Okay, no division game. That should be a rule.
No division international games. Yeah, and it was. I also think that international games should always include one in Canada. I don't know why they don't do that. So that should be.
You know what? I don't think they went over that well. They did one in Toronto, and it didn't go that well.
You shut the hell up.
You just want it for yourself. Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Whose side are you on?
Yeah, well, you just live in the wrong country. That's what's going on around here. All right. Well, that's what we got. What do you?
That's it. That was those were. It was a good game, and it was. But Herbert was on point.
I know there's lots more to talk about, but those are the things that stuck out for me that I wanted to talk about.
We covered it in depth, I thought.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Let us know what you think. Is there a point you were hoping for us to get to, and you're just like, say it, and we just don't get to it? Let us know. Well, I don't know, because sometimes someone will bring something up, and I thought, oh yeah, I didn't even think of that. But I think I hit the points that to me were the complexion of this game.
Me too.
All right. And if you're still here watching us, we appreciate you being here. We know our channel's small, so we just started last year, so we're hoping to keep growing the channel. So if you like what we got going on, we'd super appreciate a subscribe and a like, and maybe even share it with somebody who you think might enjoy our channel. I don't know. You got anything else?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, that's your Saturday versus Sunday podcast.